each few years we say this is the era of procurement, and I do think it is again.
Every 3 years, is that what you said?
But it is again. Because if you look today, of course, there is the macroeconomic challenge, geopolitical changes which you need to address. But foremost of all, the call for the business, for procurement, to support, to add value, to bring change has dramatically increased. So if you look to the earlier days, it was about managing cost, managing the P&L, getting the right supplier base, security of supply. But that agenda has greatly evolved. So if today you look on what we are expected to deliver, is the usual cost and cash, but foremost of all turning the outside in, getting the right supplier base there with innovations, and foremost of all getting sustainability done according to the commitments you have as a company, as well as on the opportunities your supply base is bringing. I think acceleration really is coming back a bit on what makes procurement great. Is you need to step up. That means is you need to be curious, you need to be outside, you need to try to find potential partners which can contribute to, say, your realization of your Scope 1 targets, who are willing as well to equally commit to together establish, for example, net zero in Scope 3. And foremost of all, that you have, say, the right team in place with the right capability and the right mindset. I would like to make a distinction between, say, net zero, Scope 1, 2, and 3. So net zero 1, 2 is about your own scope, your own logistics, your own production units. I think there it is about finding the right technology, the technology partners to help you in order to turn your operations net zero. There again, if you look, for example, to renewable electricity, find partners with whom you can make scale. Because often, if you go site after site, everybody is going through its own journey. So if I look back to Heineken specifically, is that we did a virtual PPA. We did it with Philips, Nordion, partners, and we did it a scale in Europe. It took a couple of years, but the impact was much more bigger than on our own. Scope 3, I think it's the most challenging part, because Scope 3 by design brings companies together. So our Scope 3 or my Scope 3, if I would run supply chain, is another man's Scope 1, 2.
Right.
So instead of having separate actions attacking Scope 3 and Scope 1, 2, you need to bring it together.
Yeah.
And finally, I believe this ecosystem is like a fashionable word, but you need to find connection point with companies who are sharing the same worries maybe, or wanting the same to achieve, and more importantly, are equally willing to commit, because there is no free ride. So wanting to be with a company to do something right is nice, and there is many connection points we made, but finally it's about equally chipping in on and making commitments, both in resources as well as financials.